Hi and welcome to this post-social podcast presented by Oliver Thomas Wilcox. Today's guest is ex-professional footballer Kylla Sjoman. In the podcast we discuss her time playing professional football and how she adapted to living and playing in various different countries. Before we start, please make sure to subscribe to our channel and check the description for our webpage, Twitter, Facebook and LinkedIn. So thank you so much for being here today with me. How are you?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Not too bad myself, thank you. So before we go into the questions, could you give like a brief summary of yourself?
Yeah, so my name is Kylla Sjoman. I'm from just outside Vancouver, Burnaby, British Columbia, Canada. I played professionally for 10 years across Europe and played in 6 different countries. And yeah, that's pretty much the summary of my football career.
Right, so we'll go a bit deeper into that then. So
Yeah.
first starting football, what age did you first start?
I started probably just kind of in the back garden with friends when I was 7. And then, when I was about 7 or 8, I joined a club team. And I just kind of loved it right away. I think I had a little bit of a different experience because in Canada, we had quite a lot of girls playing football. So I know a lot of my former teammates here in England, they played on boys teams, but I had an all girls team right from the get-go.
Right, so women's football is quite big in Canada because I know that from Women's World Cup, Canada were quite a good team within that. So first starting out, did you have any like role models you looked up to, be that as professional players, parents, or any other people in your life?
Yeah, I mean, I think so the town I grew up in, Burnaby, British Columbia, is actually where Christine Sinclair is from as well. And her aunts and uncles were actually my club coaches growing up. So Christine Sinclair has kind of been a huge role model in my football career and just someone I always aspired to be with or play with. And lucky enough, I had the chance to do that. But yeah, she's just been a huge role model, I think, in the women's game globally, but massively in Canada.
Right, yeah. So with football, what positions did you play, or was there just one main position?
No, like when I started out, I played kind of center midfield, and then as I started to get identified for the national team and stuff, I ended up playing left back. And then I played left back for a majority of my career. I played center back for a little bit at college, even though I'm a bit on the small side for a center back. And then, but I kind of just seemed to really like fall into the left back position and kind of had most of my opportunities from playing there.
Yeah, so it must have been quite a big change for your development to going from centre midfield to as a fullback, then going in as a fullback into a centre back, because they're all three completely different positions.
Yeah, I think as a center midfielder, I got at least that vision, and I was on the ball a lot, and just like I think one of my strong suits was like my passing game as well. So I think going into the left back position, I'm naturally left footed. I was just able to like kind of open up the game a little bit from that position and play make. And I think, I had a little bit of pace at one point in my life. So getting up and down the line a little bit was probably one of my stronger parts of my game.
So into your professional days, when did you first get that contract?
So it was the first year that the WSL started here in England. So that was pretty exciting to kind of come over and be like the first North American to play in this league. And so I played for Doncaster Bells at the time. But I mean, the WSL has evolved a lot since then, which is amazing to see. But that was my first professional contract in 2011.
Yeah, so it must have been quite a big change as well, playing football in Canada, then going to a different country, because football's kind of played differently within countries. Was it hard to adapt, or did you adapt quite quickly?
I think I did well to adapt. When I was playing in Canada and North America and the US and stuff, I was always quite a technical player. Like I used to work with this Brazilian coach who was amazing and really like kind of honed in on that aspect of my game. And then when I came over, and so I was always pretty strong technically in North America. And then when I came to England, I think I was just like as technical, like everyone here. I think growing up with football and watching football all the time, like the players and the women playing here were so technical. So I loved playing in that environment, but then I think I was just, on par, or just like kind of average compared to when I was in North America, because the talent here and kind of like love and passion for football and that little something special here. So yeah, it took a while to adapt, but I loved it. I think I really enjoyed the style of play and everything coming over.
Yeah, well, I definitely think England's probably one of the best places to play football in the world, but I think I'm a bit biased in that experience. So, so you've played in other countries, bar Canada and England. So what are the other countries you've played in?
So I played in Germany, Scotland, so just north of the border, and then in the Czech Republic in the US. So I went to university, got a soccer scholarship, played in the US, then played in England, kind of bounced back and forth between Germany and Scotland a little bit. And then I finished off my career with Slavia Praha in Czech Republic, where I got to play Champions League and have that experience, which was cool.
Yeah, I did when preparing questions for the interview. I did see you played in the Champions League, which, well, it's a dream for me, personally. Biggest club competition in the world. How was that feeling to get a debut in a Champions League?
Yeah, I mean, we started out in the qualification, so we went to like Budapest and played there and ended up kind of like securing winning our spot into the Champions League. And then we just had an incredible run. We ended up making it to the quarterfinals against Bayern Munich. We tied them at home, which was probably one of the most exciting games that I've played in. We had like a record crowd. I mean, it's a record crowd in the Czech Republic is being smashed by like Nou Camp and Barcelona women getting 91,000 nowadays, but which is incredible. But yeah, it was just unbelievable. I think to kind of go into Slavia, and I didn't really know what to expect with the standard in the league or anything like that. And then to go into the Champions League and play, be traveling to these different countries and playing these like, renowned clubs. It was an incredible experience and just like amazing football, and really, really kind of proud of our team and how we did and just being able to have that experience. Yeah, it was pretty incredible.
Yeah. So did you get far in the competition at all with Slavia?
Yeah, so I mean, like the quarterfinals, of the Champions League, I guess like that was pretty big. We ended up finishing second in our league that year, but it was really incredible. Like we played FC Rosengard from Sweden in the round of 16 leading up to the quarterfinals, and Rosengard are really well established club in Sweden and in Europe, and they've always done really well. Had some huge players playing there, so that was a really exciting game to kind of win those away, and then to come back and then play against Bayern. It was pretty incredible.
Yeah, it must have been an amazing experience. So with disregarding the Champions League achievement, what would you say throughout your football career is a personal highlight or a coveted highlight? What would you say is one up there, or if it's a couple?
I would say probably next to the Champions League was I played for Canada in kind of my hometown in Vancouver against Mexico, and I got a start with Canada in front of, we had like 22,000 people at the game. My friends and family were all there and able to kind of like celebrate. That was like a big moment for me to kind of come home and get to play in front of a hometown crowd, in front of my family, and represent my country. That's something I didn't maybe like go as far with the national team as I would have hoped, but that was a big moment for me, like it was exciting, and I'm glad that I've had that experience.
Playing for your national team is definitely something to be proud of, even if was it a friendly or was it a competitive?
Yeah, it was a friendly. It was a friendly, yeah.
Even with 22,000 people there, that's just a great feat. So with women's football in general, you've brought up the near camp game with, was it 80,000? Was it near that?
91.
It was 91.
91,000.
Okay. That's insane. Yeah. Have you, as playing women's football yourself, have you seen the growth like gradually with popularity in the sport?
Yeah, definitely. I think and massively part of it is just like the exposure. I think social media has been great for driving women's football and it being accessible. I think the new it's DAZN, DAZN. What is, I forget the network.
I think I've seen it a few times on boxing matches.
Yeah, it's usually for boxing, but they've picked up the Women's Champions League, so that streaming service and being able to actually watch games in a really accessible way has been huge for the growth of women's football. I think people are able to access it in a new way that they haven't been in the past. Because I think when I first came over, the publicity of it was so little, and also the resources behind it. So it's amazing to see that. I think just the investment in the game, both the players, but also the marketing and kind of outreach to people and communities to know when games are happening, what channel you can watch it on, what have you. So that has been massive to see. It's been really exciting.
Yeah, it's definitely with the 91,000 people for the Barcelona Madrid game.
Yeah,
that was insane. I remember reading that, and I've actually mentioned it on a news bulletin I did here.
Yeah.
So just got one more question. What would your advice be to aspiring women footballers starting a career in any aspect of life, whether football or personal life?
I think one of the things that has been the most valuable for me is taking advantage of opportunities. I know that may seem like a given, but I think there is a lot of fear about moving club or moving country and taking on those opportunities and being very specific about where you want to go and what you want to do. I think it's a really important moment for anyone in their career to really kind of just be open to new opportunities. But I also think working on yourself as an individual, because I've retired now, and it's a big transition from being a footballer and my identity is there to then doing something else. So I think having the balance of loving the game, being passionate about it, but also seeing your value and worth in other ways.
Oh, that's very good advice. Well, thank you very much for giving your time today. It's been great to hear from you.
Yeah, thank you, Oliver. It was nice to meet you. Hopefully connect again soon.
Hopefully, yeah.